Markings on a stone pillar at Göbekli Tepe are likely to represent the world's oldest calendar memorialising a devastating comet strike. That is according to dynamite new research on the 12,000-year-old archaeological site in Turkey that also references the Younger Dryas. The markings at Göbekli Tepe in southern Turkey, an ancient complex of temple-like enclosures adorned with intricately carved symbols, could record an astronomical event that triggered a key shift in human civilization, researchers say. The research was detailed in a paper called Representations of Calendars and Time at Göbekli Tepe and Karahan Tepe support an astronomical interpretation of their symbolism. It suggests ancient people were able to record their observations of the sun, moon and constellations in the form of a solar calendar created to keep track of time and mark the change of seasons. Fresh analysis of V-shaped symbols carved onto pillars at the site has found that each V-shape could represent a single day. This interpretation allowed researchers to count a solar calendar of 365 days on one of the pillars, consisting of 12 lunar months plus 11 extra days. The summer solstice appears as a separate, special day represented by a V worn around the neck of a bird-like beast, thought to represent the summer solstice constellation at the time. Other statues nearby, possibly representing deities, have been found with similar V markings at their necks. Since both the moon's and the sun's cycles are depicted, the carvings could represent the world's earliest so-called lunisolar calendar, based on the phases of the moon and the position of the sun, predating other known calendars of this type by many millennia. Ancient people may have created these carvings at Göbekli Tepe to record the date a swarm of comet fragments hit Earth nearly 13,000 years ago, or 10,850 BC, researchers say. The comet strike is suggested to have ushered in a mini ice age lasting over 1,200 years, wiping out many species of large animals. It could also have triggered changes in lifestyle and agriculture thought to be linked to the birth of civilization soon afterwards in the Fertile Crescent of West Asia. Another pillar at the site appears to picture the Taurid meteor stream, which is thought to be the source of the comet fragments, lasting 27 days and emanating from the directions of Aquarius and Pisces. The find also appears to confirm that ancient people were able to record dates using precession, the wobble in Earth's axis which affects the movement of constellations across the sky, at least 10,000 years before the phenomenon was documented by Hipparchus of ancient Greece in 150 BC. The carvings appear to have remained important to the people of Göbekli Tepe for millennia, suggesting the impact event may have triggered a new cult or religion that influenced the development of civilization. The find also supports a theory that Earth faces increased comet strikes as its orbit crosses the path of circling comet fragments, which we normally experience as meteor streams. Dr. Martin Sweetman of the University of Edinburgh's School of Engineering, who led the research, said, "It appears the inhabitants of Göbekli Tepe were keen observers of the sky, which is to be expected given their world had been devastated by a comet strike. This event might have triggered civilization by initiating a new religion and by motivating developments in agriculture to cope with the cold climate. Possibly their attempts to record what they saw are the first steps towards the development of writing millennia later." End quote. The research was published in Time and Mind, the Journal of Archaeology, Consciousness and Culture. Part of the paper's abstract read, "Göbekli Tepe, an archaeological site in southern Turkey, features several temple-like enclosures adorned with many intricately carved symbols. It is located centrally among a group of Taş Tepe pre-pottery Neolithic sites which include Karahan Tepe and Sayburç. Here, an earlier astronomical interpretation for Göbekli Tepe's symbolism is supported and extended by showing how V symbols on Pillar 43 in Enclosure D can be interpreted in terms of a lunisolar calendar system with 11 epigomenal days, which would make it the oldest known example of its type. Furthermore, it is shown how Göbekli Tepe's 11-pillar enclosures and a megalithic 11-pillar pool structure at nearby Karahan Tepe can also be interpreted in terms of the same lunisolar calendar system. Other V symbols at Göbekli Tepe are also interpreted in astronomical terms, and it is shown how the Urfaman statue, a wall carving at Sayburç, and a statue at Karahan Tepe that display V symbol necklaces can be interpreted as time-controlling or creator deities. Symbolic links with later cultures from the Fertile Crescent are explored. Throughout, links are made with the Younger Dryas impact and Covin's theory for the origin of the Neolithic revolution in the Fertile Crescent. Part of the paper's conclusion read, "Clearly, this astronomical interpretation for Göbekli Tepe's symbolism relies on comparison with other symbols that are either known or suspected to be astronomical in nature, including constellations in Stellarium, the Nebra sky disk, specific artifacts from late Neolithic and early Bronze Age Mesopotamia and Egypt, and Paleolithic cave art and figurines." The time difference between Göbekli Tepe and the creation of these other symbols might lead one to question the validity of this approach, but evidence presented here suggests astronomical symbolism can have a very long lifetime, perhaps longer than even 50,000 years, for some astronomically related myths. Moreover, even if some of this symbolism is convergent rather than culturally transmitted, the correlations still constitute evidence, albeit of a weaker kind, of this astronomical interpretation. In fact, comparison of Göbekli Tepe's symbolism with symbolism at other sites such as Çatalhöyük, or with Paleolithic art or Bronze Age cultures, or with shamanistic symbolism is commonplace. Ultimately, if we are to decode Göbekli Tepe's symbolism at all, then comparison with symbols from other locations is the only way forward. Indeed, comparison between different sets of data is fundamental in science and many other disciplines, including archaeology. Whether one compares between two numerical datasets generated by theory and by observation, for example, or pottery sherds and stone tools between one archaeological site and another, or phonemes between two neighbouring languages, or mythical elements between widely separated cultures, or genetic codes between widely separated ancient burials, the method of comparison is essentially the same and necessary for scientific progress. This work is no different in this respect. My own view is that this study will certainly ruffle feathers and is likely to be accused of reaching, but it is a fascinating theoretical exercise and could unlock deep secrets in our ancient past. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and most importantly subscribe. And you can also support the channel on Subscribestar via the link in the description, or via YouTube Super Thanks. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.